Alright guys, this is Felipe Coelho, welcome again to the channel. Today I thought about making for you a video where I bring to you what I believe to be the single most important piece of knowledge that every guitar player from any type of musical language should have. And I'm going to cut it short here, I'm not going to waste your time. I believe that to be the caged system, but not in the simple, common way that people out there, many people, have thought to understand the caged system. It's much more than simply knowing to play these shapes, C, A, G, D, and whatsoever. It is actually the mapping of the guitar, and it is a roadmap for the most important tones of every chord, which are tonic, third, and fifth. Of course, you may have an augmented fifth or a diminished fifth or a minor third, a major third, or whatever, but that is where everything begins. You cannot build a house from the top. And the caged system, I believe, to be the bottom for everything. Whether you're going to play classical music, you're going to compose, even if you're going to play memorized things, the caged system will help you by knowing what you're doing, which I call turning the light on. Don't play anything else on the guitar before you know what you're doing. And just that key turning right there, I believe is going to change your life as it has changed mine. So here I'm going to explain to you what the caged system is all about, all right? So basically, caged, you have these 5 letters, C, A, G, E, D. For those of you who already know the beginning steps on the guitar, you probably know these major chords. C, A, G, E, and D. But now what we're going to do is, your first job is to be able to find the note names on the bass strings in order to really master the guitar. So let's do this together. You should know this by now. This is E, right? F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And on the A string, you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. That needs to be second nature to you. And if it's not, start working on it day by day, but it should be a goal, it should be an important goal. So after you do that, you can actually move these chords. So what I'm going to do to truly explain the caged system to you, I'm going to play the C chord in 5 different shapes, the same chord. And at the end, I'm going to bring to you which intervals are which ones are your tonics, your thirds, and your fifths. And that right there is the breaking point, is when you really become able to take advantage of what the secret has to offer. This is such an underrated thing. Like I said, I see many players attempting to play well without knowing this, and that's what you're missing. That is the hole in their knowledge that I want to call your attention for. So here we go. C major. Now I'm going to use after the C, in the caged system comes the A. So I'm going to use the A shape, but I'm going to take it here to C. How do I do that? I take the tonic of A, which is on the bass, and I move it to C like this. A, B, and of course you have to move every finger by every fret that you move the bass. So B, and then half step to C. So here's my C. Later on I'm going to explain to you about the intervals in here, but this is, just bear with me, this is what you need to learn for now. Here's your C chord, okay? Make sure you memorize that shape. And I'm here to also tell you guys, there's no easy way. There's no pill or whatever that you take that is just going to make you play better from one day to another. There are things that you cannot avoid, you cannot escape from learning, and this is one of them. So we got C, A, now the G chord, I'm going to take from here, G, A, B, C, and I'm gonna spread that shape out, and notice that here for where I had the open strings, I'm going to use a bar, and then the C becomes like this, okay? And then now I'm going to take the E shape, which is my next one, in the caged sequence, and I'm going to move her all the way to C. E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? And finally, the D shape will also become a C major chord. D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Right? And what you can do with this shape as well, you can move the third down the octave onto the 6th string, so you may also have this shape, or here. Okay, now the next step after you got that together is this. Let's place our octaves. We all must know where the octave is the center, is where everything starts to count from. So knowing where the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, or the 5th, knowing where these notes are depends on you knowing where the tonic is. And this is where the caged system begins to show its magic. So let's do this together. Here's C major. My tonic is obviously here on the bass, and here as well. The number 1 sometimes flashes in my mind as like a yellow or a light color. So you begin seeing the guitar in a different way. You must really master the sight or the finding of these tonics. Oh, and don't forget, if you walk backwards from C, you're going to find your 5th, and and your third. But I'm gonna get there later on. So here we have now the C major chord. Where are the tonics? C and C. That's my ones, right? Now in the G shape, here's my tonic, tonic again, and tonic. Now next, C, I got tonic, tonic, and tonic. And then finally, the D major, I got the tonic here and here. Okay? So that's where you begin building the guitar. I know this may sound like, oh, there's so much information, I just would like to be playing a song. But if you want to take this seriously, there must be some depth. We can't just be, always on the surface of things. So just come along and keep watching in case you're serious about mastering this instrument. So here we go now. Every place you found a tonic, the next note is going to be your third. And the previous note is going to be your fifth. So here's my tonic, here's my third. Previous from this note, as a chord tone, I have the fifth right here. Here's my tonic, that's the major third. 3, and you can even acknowledge the sound, right? 3, 2, 1, and then here is 5, 1, 5. So you must play around a little bit with the guitar that way, trying to acknowledge what's going on in the instrument, to navigate through it in a way so as to express yourself deeply, then knowing the language and the numbers and the whole matrix behind everything is a must. So going on, now here I have my C, tonic, and tonic. So if the tonic is here, the third is right there. 3, and that is the very note that changes when the chord becomes a minor chord. The difference between a major chord and a minor chord is a third. Major third, minor third. The minor third is just half step below the major third. So here we have tonic, the fifth. 5, 1, and here's another tonic. The third is right here. 3, 1. Of course, this note doesn't belong to the shape. But the next step, I believe, to be, once you got the cage system down, is to build your arpeggios. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. So if here I have the cage system, all I need to do is just add one note in order to create that sequence. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Okay? Here's my fifth again. Now the next, we're almost done with the video, guys. Just hang on till the end. Here's the G shape caged system. So now every time you're playing, you should be able to know which shape you're playing off of. That means you know where the right notes and the wrong ones are. That's what, playing with fluency is all about, is being able to have a clear sight of these wrong versus right notes. So here's the G, tonic, third and fifth. Here's my tonic, the third right above. Here's my tonic, the fifth right below. Here's the tonic, the fifth below. And I got 5, 3, 1. So spend a little time to acknowledge these intervals, okay? You will not regret it, I promise you. Here's the E shape cage system, C major chord. Comes from the E shape. Now let's acknowledge the shape. Here's the tonic, tonic, and tonic. From the tonic, I know this is the third. From this tonic, I know below I have the fifth, right? And here's I have 1, 3, 5, 1. What do I do? So here is the C major, and then here is the tonic, the fifth, and the tonic. Again, I have to add the major third in order to make this into an arpeggio. An arpeggio is a sequence of notes, right? So 1, 3, 5 arpeggio. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. This is worth knowing, guys, believe me. And finally, before we end the video, we got here the major chord for the D shape cage system, C major chord from the D shape. I look at this D major shape here and I take it all the way up to C. Where my tonic is up on C, here's my other tonic. Now I got 3, 1, 5. Here's the 3, 3, 1, 5. So take the time, guys, to put this together. Okay, here's the D shape once again. And I have 5, 1. Here's another 5 and 1 and the third. All right? You will use this forever once you acknowledge and you have mastered this sight. This is the single most important piece of knowledge that if you don't already know, it is what your next practice session should be about. See you next time, guys.